Hi, I'm Courtney Graham, a former Mrs. Colorado 2012, and it's my privilege to interview a contestant who is currently competing for the Mrs. Colorado pageant that will be happening on July 11th in Denver, Colorado. We thought this would just be a really fun way for all of you to get to know our contestants and a fun way for the contestants to practice as well. So let's just start it off. Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Let's start off. Why don't you just tell us your name and the town that you're representing?
Well, I'm Amber Gerling, and I'm representing Mrs. Wellington, City of Wellington.
Awesome. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
So both my husband and I, we both work in law enforcement. My husband works for the Colorado State Patrol, and I work as a forensic scientist at the Wyoming State Crime Lab in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I have two stepdaughters, Justine and Josephine. Justine's going to turn 22 soon, and Josephine's 20. As far as things I enjoy doing, I love to ride horses, I show my horses, and I'm also a competitive Irish dancer.
Oh, that's awesome. I love horses. I personally have not. I've ridden a horse, but very limited experience. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing.
Sure.
As you think about your journey, what life lessons have you learned and what could someone learn from you?
So I've competed in pageants ever since college and kind of off and on. And I feel like with each pageant that I do, I grow even more as a person.
Mhm.
I've always been compassionate, but I feel like I've become even more compassionate, doing different things through the communities, as a queen. And I feel like people can just, learn from me that you can be strong and encouraging to other women. I think that's one of the awesome things about this particular pageant is everyone is so encouraging and supportive of each other.
Mhm.
Women have a tendency to tear each other down, I feel like, more. And like this pageant for me, it's just been phenomenal just seeing how encouraging everyone is of each other. And I think that's really important as a woman is to just be supportive of each other and encouraging and, really go for your ambitions and dreams.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. I think this is such an amazing group of women, and whether you win or not, the friendships you gain are going to be lifelong friendships. So, yeah, thanks for sharing that. If you were crowned in July, what would your reign look like?
So my personal platform is on drug awareness. I work in the drug chemistry unit of the crime lab, and so I see the effects of drugs on society when I'm testifying in court and when I go to crime scenes. Most of the crime scenes I've been to have been drug and alcohol involved, and it's so sad to see. And so I would definitely like to go out to the community, go to the schools and talk about drugs and kind of, bring my perspective into it, working in the crime lab. But I also just want to go out into the community more and just, help everyone that I possibly can.
That's awesome. That's great. Thinking about all of the influential people in your life, who do you admire most?
I admire Princess Diana the most. She was just such a stunning woman and just so caring and compassionate. And that's just the type of woman I want to be too when, I'm around other people. And I hope like people always foresee me as being caring and compassionate. She was just such an amazing woman and super encouraging and supportive of, all kinds of charities. And she was awesome.
Yeah, she was. She was an incredible woman. So tell me, you said you've competed a couple times for this pageant. What have you learned about yourself in preparation for the Mrs. Colorado pageant?
Well, in preparation, I've been really reflecting on, things from last year, competition-wise, and just recognizing my strengths and weaknesses. And I guess as far as just, I don't know, learning from last year, just, I have a tendency to be pretty shy. And so pageants are a great way for me to like open up a little bit more. So I feel like every time I do a pageant, I open up a little bit more and just become more social and just putting myself out there, I think is the biggest thing for me. And I think doing this pageant is a fantastic way of doing that.
Yeah, I agree. You mentioned before we started recording this interview that, you know, you competed a couple of times. What's brought you back?
I love being on stage. It's super fun. And you know, just meeting the women last year, I think honestly this is the best pageant system I've ever been involved with,
Yeah.
because everyone is just so friendly. And I've lived here in Colorado for maybe only about 3 years, and so I know some people here, but not a ton of people. So it's a great way to meet other people.
Yeah, I know. I hear you on that. When I moved here, I'm originally from Hawaii, but I lived in Texas for a while before we moved to Colorado. And it was one of the main reasons that I competed because I didn't know anybody and I wanted to get involved in the community and I wanted to make friends and all the girl stuff too, right? Like, where do you get your hair
Yeah.
done? And like, you know, where's all the connections? Where are all the people? Where's my people? So I totally agree with you. I think it's such a fun way. It's, you know, whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter. Like what you gain from it, you know, the friendships, the connections, the self-discovery,
Right.
and just figuring out how to show up as your best self. That's what I personally have loved about it as well. So thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. What I'm gonna just kind of throw something funny out there. When you were growing up, what was your favorite toy?
My toy were Breyer horses. Like, I'm a huge horse girl. Breyer horses, they're like these plastic model looking horses. They look actually pretty realistic looking, and I would just play with those nonstop. And actually, I'm still a Breyer horse collector.
Oh, how many do you have? Do you know offhand?
I want to say maybe 20 or 30 still. I have some still from like when I was a little girl.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
I just haven't been able to part with them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I get it. There's something sentimental about that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, this is just a real quick interview. What's one last thing that you'd like to share with us about you?
So as I mentioned before, I'm an Irish dancer. When I was 13, I saw Riverdance on PBS and was totally infatuated with that show. And I would watch those videos over and over again and eventually picked up on the steps. And I was a self-taught Irish dancer for the longest time. And actually when I competed in pageants for like the local Miss Nebraska system, I would do Irish dance for my talent. And when I moved out here, I wanted to find an actual Irish dance school to compete in. And so I currently dance at the Avoca Irish Dance Academy. And my dance instructor was actually in Riverdance. So she's kind of a celebrity to me. So
Yeah.
that's how I got involved in Irish dance. I get that question a lot.
Oh, that's so neat. I love that you do that. That's great. You know, as we get older, sometimes it's easy to put those things that bring us joy
Yeah.
to the back burner. I know oftentimes I think about, okay, when I'm trying to kind of, you know, rediscover myself once in a while, think back to what were the things I enjoyed as a kid, you know, and do I still like those things? I think that's so neat that you still collect horses and you taught yourself how to Irish dance and you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Well, it has been a sincere pleasure to talk with you today, and thank you so much for reaching out. And I'm so excited for your journey. You know, regardless of the outcome, I think you're going to have a fabulous time.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's certainly been a pleasure speaking with you.
Well, likewise.
Yeah. So with that, best of luck to you.
Thank you.